Okay, we're gonna go over how to use the pan watercolors in case you don't know how. So this is how you will set up the materials for your table. We share this set of materials for everyone that is using watercolor at your table. They do have table numbers on them for the pans. You will need a half cup of water, a sponge you're getting wet and squeezing it out all the way, and then you can choose a variety of brush sizes to borrow. Next, we are going to make sure our art is on another tray, and then you can put this in the center to share with everyone at your table, and then we're going to start painting. So I took from my planning sheet the sketch that I'm putting on here, and then I'm going to start with a medium size or even a small. My shapes are all pretty small, my paper's small, so I'm going to be mostly using these smaller paintbrushes. I am going to put water in the color that I want to start with, just using my paintbrush to drip water into that color because you want to paint from that puddle. So once I have that puddle, I can begin painting inside one of those shapes. So with watercolor, that is, you really don't want to paint wet color next to wet color. So meaning I don't want to paint the shapes that might be touching this purple one today. Oh goodness, that happens. I just splattered. So if that happens, we're just going to use this to soak up as best as we can what we have, and hopefully I can clean that up with some other colors. So be very careful. As you can see, that paint does drip. Now, when it's really dark, if you don't like how dark it is, just clean that color off and just come back with just water on your brush and spread out what you already have. The ways to make watercolor darker are to put a second coat later when it's dry, or you can make it dark starting now. That would be adding less water but more color. And if you want it thinner or lighter, then it's more water, less color. Remember, we are doing value, so we definitely need to be showing that. So I'm going to go to a new color just to show you. I'm going to put that water in the blue oval and make that puddle and start another shape. Again, I do not want to paint a shape that's touching the purple one so that it can dry. Otherwise, what happens is they will blend together, and usually we don't want that to happen. So after I'm done painting for the day, I'm going to show you how to clean these up, and then we put them over on the counter for the next group. So let's say that it's time to clean up. I'm going to clean my brushes all the way out in my water, lay them on the tray to dry. We are going to take this over to the counter and clean out your water. You can take your paint brushes off and put those back where you got them. This whole tray can go on the drying rack because these need to dry. Now, if you mix colors, you may mix colors here in this lid. I forgot to show you that. So let's say I would like to mix a color that is not on here, or maybe I want a different value. Maybe I want a yellow green. So I'm going to get the green and the yellow wet, and then I can mix them in the lid. So let me get some green going, and then maybe I'm going to put some yellow in there. Clean your brush every time you go back into one of these pans if you're switching colors. So maybe I want to use that color. All right, you can mix any of those in here, but at cleanup, you do use this sponge to wipe out the lid and soak up the color. If it's not soaking up the color, you may need to rinse your sponge and make sure you get all the water out so that it can actually soak up whatever is on your lid. So this should be nice and clean for the next class, and then we let these dry, leaving it open. Then your art will go on the drying rack.